needing someone in your life isn't weak, but failing to identify your needs is.
Hi!
People can tune in with foresight, hindsight.
This is self-mastery, baby.
I think in hindsight,
They give you an hour. That's actually an honor.
My God, in hindsight,
I said, well, me have to listen to the rest of my program.
and when I think about that in hindsight, that did calm me down.
That tea is amazing. Chamomile tea for the win. Chamomile is really good before you go to bed. It'll just put you to ease. You understand? It's the morning right now, but you know what? Today's a calm day. I had a beautiful morning. I felt like I experienced a little bit of heaven this morning. Today, I wanted to talk about a few things. You understand? Filling the space in our life, right? Identifying that we need help. I need help. You need help. We all need help. And it's okay to admit this, you understand? Each one of us has an opportunity this year, and our old ways may not serve us in this new space. And the beautiful thing is, no matter if it's in your relationships, in your individual journey, or in your creative process, there are new tools and ways and routines and perspectives that we can implement to elevate and grow beyond what we even know to be possible. I actually created a course for all my creatives or future creatives out there, and I want you to check it out. So I'm going to introduce our sponsor. Skillshare is an online learning community with tens of thousands of online classes and members across 150 countries who come together to find inspiration for any stage in their creative journey. Now, if you're a creative person like me, or if you're trying to learn a new skill, Skillshare is perfect for you. I've taken classes from Sorrel or Ali Abdel and learned so many tools that I've implemented into my own process. I also have my own course where we dive into content creation from a mindful perspective and overcoming those hurdles and procrastination. There's an endless variety of courses with over 900 new classes being added every month. You will always find something new to learn. The reviews from my own personal course are in, and people have said they are loving it. You can now take this course for free by using the link in my description box. You'll also receive unlimited access to tens of thousands additional classes for a whole month. So I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately, a lot of observation. A lot of things in my life as of lately have been changing, and I've been experiencing new things, and it's been beautiful. And I've been realizing things about myself in real time. So over the next couple months, I'm sure I'm going to continue to share different perspectives, and they're going to evolve how we go. I like sharing things on my mind as I go with you, because it's like we're learning together, deconstructing and constructing ourselves. And that's a beautiful thing when we do the work, you understand? Now, I have always been an individualist, like a proud individualist. Do everything myself. Like everything you see right here, I do it myself. You understand? Like a lot of people will message me on Instagram and be like, hey, can you tell me who your video guy is? I just want to ask him your export settings. I want to ask your video guy your coloring settings. Oh, can you tell me who's doing your sound? And I'm like, ma'am, sir, it's me. Not in an egotistic way, but I've always been an individualist. I like to do things by myself. But I started to realize how much of a weakness that was. I think it's important that we create this space in our life, the space to need. The space to need somebody, you understand? The space for somebody else to fill. Now, a lot of the times we want to pretend like we don't need anybody because it means we have to put our heart on the table. We have to be vulnerable. And being vulnerable is scary, isn't it? It's very difficult because I'm sure every single one of us has been vulnerable at some point in our life, and somebody took advantage of that vulnerability. So what happens? We cross our arms. We take 2 steps back, and now we're like, I'm never going to put myself in that position again. Let it be consciously we make that decision or unconsciously. You know, toxic relationships, people who took advantage of us can really knock us back 5 steps from even opening our heart again and feeling. So a lot of us, we are afraid of vulnerability. So we pretend like, hey, there's no need, there's no space in my life for anybody to fill. I got this. I love myself. I take care of myself. I do it all by myself. I think a lot of us plan our life and our future and everything that we're building sometimes off our trauma, right? It's off of our trauma. And I think it's a beautiful thing when we can create this space to need, to be able to let somebody that we love know, I don't just love you, I don't just want you, but I need you. And that's not from a place of weakness, you understand? But I need you in my life because we are creatures of community. We do need each other. Nobody could do this life thing all by ourselves. I remember one time I ordered some new furniture and I even thought, I'm like, how am I going to get this furniture out my house? Like, this is definitely a job where I need multiple people. But I didn't want to ask anybody for help. I don't know why. Again, I'm an individualistic. I was an individualistic. We are changing. We have changed. And instead of calling a friend, because I have friends that would come help, I carried this massive thing up my stairs, almost completely like breaking my back. For what reason? Is it stronger to do it by myself, or is it stronger to identify our needs and ask for help? Needing somebody isn't weak, my friends. Needing someone in your life isn't weak, but failing to identify your needs is. A lot of us fail to identify that we do need love in our life. We do want a romantic partner. We do want true intimacy, but instead we lean towards the meaningless connections so we can guard our heart from ever falling too deep and getting hurt again. When I was young, I purposely would date people I know I wasn't going to love. Like, this is when I was young, because I was afraid of getting my heart broken. I was afraid of being too young, and I didn't believe that love could last from an early age to the rest of my life at that point in my life. So I went towards meaningless connections that did nothing for my spirit, my mind, my soul. I pretended like I didn't need anybody. I want you right now. We can have fun, but I don't need you. And in my life now, I'm in a space where I'm like, no, I am creating this space to need, allowing people to know, like, hey, in my life, there's a need for you. Because every single one of us has this thing within us where we want to give. We want to be there for one another. And when you deprive the people in your life who love you from that need, from you saying, hey, there's actually space here for you. If you rob that from them, you lack them of their ability to serve, to give, all because we have our arms crossed and our pride in the way. It's a beautiful thing when we create that space to need. Now, of course, we're all going to go through seasons where we're alone, we're on our solo journeys, but our old ways may not serve us in this new space, you understand? You may be coming out of isolation and now it's time to partner up, create a new tribe, step into your divine love union, whatever it may be, your partnership, that future marriage, you understand? Our old ways may not serve us in this new space. That's why it takes a self-awareness to make sure that we're not moving from our trauma. Because at some point, we're going to have to open back up. Because every single one of us has a need. I need help. You need help. She needs help. He needs help. We all need help. And failing to identify what we need help with is weak. Now, when we identify what we need, it doesn't mean it's going to be there right away, but at least now we can prepare to receive, you understand? Asking, you shall receive. So if you realize, hey, I actually do need true intimacy and love in my life. I've been pretending that I'm this solo independent person who can do it all by myself, but you know what? I do want a partner. I do want a loving union. Doesn't mean they're going to pop up right away. But now in spirit, you set the intention. Now you can avoid those meaningless connections and prepare yourself. Now you can create the pathway directly to what you need because you've identified what you need. Write it down, say it to yourself. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes we don't even know what we need because we won't allow ourselves to feel. But you can't heal what you don't allow yourselves to feel. And we have hurt, we have trauma. There's people who have broken our hearts. We have disappointments, we have regrets. And all of these, it happened. It did cause suffering. But there's a pathway through it. Not over it, not around it. There's always a pathway through the things we have gone through. There's a way to heal. There's a way to gain a new perspective. You understand? This is where having a strong faith comes into place. My faith is my foundation. You understand? It's how I know that I'm never going to stumble too far. I may trip, but I'm going to get back up. It's how I know in my relationship I'll never cheat. Because we're going to dive into this in a different video, but my perspective is people who cheat don't have strong relationships with God. Because even if you get to the point where you think you're going to cheat on your partner, it should stop you, because you don't want to cheat on God, because God can see everything, you understand? Your faith is your foundation. That's what keeps you rooted. And if you have faith and create the space to need, God, source, Jesus will fill you and will send the right people to you. And I'm only saying this because I'm there now. You understand? I created the space to need. I have loving connections in my life, great friendships. I've met somebody where I was like, oh, this is my person, 100%. I let them know I need you. I don't just want you. No, I need you in my life. And every single one of us, again, we have that thing in us where we want to give. There's not a single person I've never met who says they don't want to do something for somebody. Most people say, hey, I want to get this money so I can buy my mama a house, so I can remove the bills for this person. Like, we all want to give. That's why I say self-love is service. We love ourselves. We build ourselves up so we can pour into others. But if nobody creates that space to pour into, now we're all sitting here in our individualistic mindsets. And that's what modern society wants. Modern society wants us all to be living in our little cubicle apartments by ourselves, ordering Uber Eats on the internet, on Tinder, as consumers. You understand? Let's open our eyes, let's open our hearts, and build the right unions that's going to elevate our lives and inspire others along the way. And you don't know, in hindsight, everything is going to be all right. We're going to be talking about more of these things because it's so important. You understand? It's so important that we learn how to come back together, have strong relationships, stop moving from trauma, right? I'm unraveling things in my life right now, why I convinced myself that I didn't need anybody, why I convinced myself that intimacy wasn't that important. I'm like going back to my childhood. I'm like, oh, there it is. There it is. We are always learning about ourselves. Like, you and yourself is one of the greatest mysteries. You understand? If you think you figured yourself out completely, my friend, you've hit the ceiling. There are depths to you, things about you that you have yet to learn. Get ready about that expansion, that discovery, because my friend, there's so much to receive. I'll see you soon.